Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I am going to show you the 1-4 full court press break. So hello everyone, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training. On this channel I show you basketball plays, drills, and skills. So if you like that stuff, hit that like button and subscribe, and I need a shave. So today I'm going to show you the 1-4 press break. And, well, let's get down to the clipboard. This is really interesting. I'm going to show you a few different versions of it against a few different defenses. Okay, so in this first one, it's almost like a touchdown basketball play. And what we are looking to do is have player 5 and player 4 set a staggered screen for player 1. Now, player 4 needs to be outside of the three-point line. The reason for this is because his man is going to get caught on player 5. And instead of going under, usually what happens is the player will try and go over, and then he's going to get stuck by player 4. Now what's going to happen is if he does get stuck, player 4's man sometimes pops out, but this allows player 3 to get the ball inbounded to player 1. At this time, we're going to have player 2 running to blue, running down. And then what's going to happen is player 3 will then cut down using player 2 as that screen, and player 3 is going to be cutting down court. Now, player 1 could also have the open lane as well, and well, look at how much court we have open against a full court man-to-man. So, at this point, we have beat the press. And if not, let's say player 4 was able to cut player 1 off, then player 1 has player 3 to go down court. Now, against a 1-3-1 press, obviously player 1 is going to be either up on player 3, or if it's a three-quarter press, he'll be up at this area here. Now, if that happens, player 5 and player 4 are going to be setting screens on these two players. If player 1 is pressing up front, and these guys are just a bit more forward, then player 5 is going to be setting a screen on player 4. Player 1 is going to be cutting it towards the key at this point, and player 1 is going to receive that inbounds pass. Next, what we're looking to do is instead of player 2 setting a screen on player 1, because player 1 red is just going to go up and guard player 1 blue, instead what we're going to have is player 2 blue setting a screen on player 2 red, and then at the same time, we're going to be having player 4 setting a screen on player 4 red, and player 5 is going to be cutting up. Player 3 is going to be running inbounds, and player 1 needs to try and dribble up to this side of the court because player 4 is already there, and he's going to move over a bit to use that screen. Now, at the same time, this is a huge cluster of players. So instead of player 4 setting the screen and staying there, another option you can do is to get him the heck out of the way and move up towards center court. Because at this point, you have now collapsed the defense in on player 1. And now player 5 is possibly open. Player 3 is possibly open, cutting down on this side of the court. Or player 4 blue might be open in the middle of the court as well. Now, if they were a good defensive team and they stayed at half court, player 1, if he has been able to beat his man, or if he even hasn't and he's still being pressured, player 5 can get down court, and now player 5 red has to guard 3 players essentially. One of those 3 players are going to be open. Now against the 1-2-1-1, which is a very popular defense that I have seen at the younger youth level, which is a surprise because a lot of college and university teams use it as well. We're going to have player 5 and player 4 setting screens on these 2 players so that they don't move up to guard player 1 who's cutting towards the key. Player 3 is going to get that ball inbounded to player 1, and then what's going to happen is player 2 is going to set a screen on player 1 red. At this time, what we're going to be looking to do is open up player 5 and player 4 so that we can spread these 2 players open. The reason for that is now with player 1 able to go up the middle, these 2 players are going to try and cut him off. If they're not trying to cut him off, then we have player 1 who's trying to force him to one way or the other. For example, most likely with the player 1 red starting on that side, he's going to be trying to force player 1 blue over to this side. Meanwhile, player 3 red or blue is cutting up the sideline, and this could be a cross-court pass, which is an option. But what we're looking for here is for player 1 to be forced into this corner. Now, if that's happening, we have player 5 blue moving down that side of the court. We have player 3 blue moving down on this side of the court. And then we're also going to be having player 4 and player 2 being player 1's safety. That way, if player 1 does get caught, player 2 could always be that backdoor pass back around to this side of the court. And which in that case, if player 5 isn't open, let's say we had player 4 guarding a little bit to the left and player 5 guarding a little bit to the right, then we could have that reverse pass over and we'll be able to get it past half. So there's a few different options with this as well. Now you have to keep on changing this inbounds or this press break depending on the type of defense that they're using. Now, this is the type of play that has helped many teams. I hope it helps you. If it does, leave a comment below. Anyways, I will see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video.